because you're only doing 1 month, you have to do a minimum of 315. Is that correct? Right? You only get to count 2 months together if you're doing rolling 60 days. Let me repeat that. Okay. If you want to only move one level, right? So I see in Adina, I can see, Molly up in the front row, right? So Molly, right now, if you just want to run for 1 month of GX, then the minimum is 315. Okay. But if you want to run for 2 months of GX, that means yes, it's 630 in either in 2 months together. But you do recruit in a different one. Does that make sense? Because in this example, in April, if we want to get to if we want to just one level, that means we have to do 315. So in this example, we have leg 7, right? And 15,000 points. So let me ask you, what level was let's pretend now we have a person that if they want to use the points, okay, let's pretend they say, oh my gosh, I don't want to capture all my points from March. And what do they have to do? They have to do 6 and 30. Is that right? So in this example, you could see that they don't do any points, but they still have to do 2 new legs. Okay. So the main thing we want to teach to you is that legs do not roll over. Okay. Basically, the only thing when you're thinking about combining is points, but legs still always have to be new legs being built. Does that make sense? Okay. So hypothetically, let's just say in March you had 100,000 points, right? You still have to do at least 2 legs to jump 2 levels. So in this example, now she can jump to GX4 even though she has 0 production. Okay, so I don't know if I lost some of you in here, but I think Titan X and the people on webinar yesterday they know where I'm coming from. So if you're confused behind the scenes, wait till your breakout meeting later and ask your trainer to explain to you. Okay, but hopefully the main thing is that the easiest is, of course, if you just do about 315 every month. But if there are some months you have big policy or big points that come in, then points can be combined to go into those months, but you have to use the consecutive months. And then the recruits have to match that. Okay? Or the legs have to match that. I should say that. Okay. Well, we're going to have 4 times faster, more I can do it, more willing to get it done, and more momentum driven, fast start enthusiastic. Okay. So we're going to have so much more deep now because everybody is going together. And I think all of you, hopefully, you know that when you build those roots, right, Titan X, you have a stronger tree. When you only have small, skinny roots, you have skinny tree. And that's why it breaks even with just the wind. But when you have really deep roots and you have a huge trunk with huge, like an oak tree, that's how even the fire happens or earthquake happens and it's still standing. Okay. So we're going to have a lot of deep coming from this. 12 times faster become MD because you have so many options. And I'm going to prove that to you. Okay. So let's go through some. This is just saying to you that you should have, even though SMD requirement only 1 leg, but you see with this now, Patrick, what I'm going to visualize is that so many legs going deep now, right? That basically most, by the time they become SMD, because the old way of GX, we only have really 1 strong person, right? But now you should have 2. And then, man, it's going to be much more solid the way we bill. All right. So let's talk about counting points. Okay. So counting points, the first thing is to understand the difference between credit versus commission. Okay. Whenever people ask me, is for me the easiest way to explain. Credit gives points to the person who refers the business. It's just giving you credit. It's not money. We can't give you money or commission when you're not licensed, but we can give you credit for the effort that you put into the business. We can give you credit for the sales and the points and referrals that you bring. Does that make sense? Okay. Commission gives money to the licensed agent who closed the account and going to follow up with all the requirements. Okay. So that has nothing to do with the credit of who brought the sale. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's go through scenario number one. Agent A recruits recruit B and does joint own share for 10,000 points. As you can see here. Okay. B does joint own share. A has a license and B buys from A. So how much commission would A get? Okay. A will get $10,000 in commission. Is that correct? Right? Because B bought the sale from A and has a license. Everyone follow me so far? Okay. But when it comes to credit of the sale, okay, for GX, we're going to give the credit to B. Oops, sorry. I pressed the wrong button. We'll give the B credit to B and to A. Okay. Why are we going to give the credit to B and to A, Michelle Hassam? Because B brought the sale. Yes, B joined, got educated, and without B, there is no 10K points, right? But without A, there's also no 10K points because A recruited you, A prospected you, A helped you learn the account. Does that make sense? So in this example, both B and A is going to get the credit. Okay? Now, let's just pretend for some reason A is not licensed. Okay? Maybe A and B join at the same time and B ends up buying faster. Okay? So how is this going to work? Well, let's assume that that means since nobody on this bubble chart on the right side, nobody is licensed. That means somebody else has to sell the product. Is that right? Okay. So Marcus, the commission went somewhere else to the sky. Okay. In this case, a licensed upline or sideline trainer helped close the sale for B. That person would give 10,000 credit for GX and 10,000 point in commission. Okay, because they help close the account. But for the purpose of this bubble chart here, the credit still also given to B and A, even though somebody else closed. Does that make sense? Okay. So basically in this type of scenario, you can see that B and A always get credited the points. And then whoever just make the commission, then they get the 10K points too. Okay. So let's go through second scenario. All right. Second scenario is this is style number 2. Do you all see that? Okay. So in this picture, let's pretend A and B is licensed and D did the joint own share. Okay. So who's going to get the commission, assuming that B and A split the sale? I think is my first one. Okay. So assuming B and A split the sale, then commission-wise, A and B makes 5K each. Is that correct? Because they split 50-50, right? But when it comes to credit, this is what the credit's going to look like. The credit would be 10,000 points for D. Why? Because he's the one that did the joint own share, right? Then why would it count 10K for B? Because B's the one that brought the recruit. Okay. And then for A, it's going to count 5,000 points because It's not his personal recruit, but he was the trainer. He helped close the account. Okay? So hopefully this one makes sense to you. Now, let's just pretend over here A is not licensed and B did the sale all by himself. If B does the sale all by himself, then B is going to make all the commission. Is that right? Okay. But Leon, when it comes to GX, then only B and D get to count the points. A doesn't count the points, right? Why? Because remember, it only counts for your direct. Remember from the first slide? So over here, the only reason A even got something originally is because they were involved in the sale. But if they're not involved in the sale and it's not your direct, you don't get any credit. You follow me so far? It's in your team. It's team points, maybe for your SMD or something like that. But for your personal GX, because GX has to be personal, then it only comes from your direct recruit. Okay? So there's that. Now, scenario number 3. Agent D owns account for 10K. Agent B works with the sideline, Agent E, and splits the account. So we want to show this because we have a great community ship in WSB, right? So how this would work is for the commission wise, who's going to get commission? B and E, right? Because they are the one that splits the account together. But who gets the points? The points would be D gets 10,000, C gets 10,000, and B gets 5K, E gets 5K. Okay? So, as you can see, when it comes to the licensed trainer, the points just always match whatever the commission is. Right? Then it only counts for the upline when it comes from the direct recruit, and the join on share or the referring person, it always counts for your personal because that's your personal referral. So let's go through a pop quiz. Okay? Scenario number 4. In 1 month, A goes 5 deep. How many GX can count in one leg? So you ought to just stare at this a little bit. Okay? And I'm going to give you like 30 seconds to try to show on your fingers how many GX do we have in this example right here so far. You put on your fingers. So you think we have 5, you think we have 4, you think we have 3, we have 2, we have 1. Gonna give you 30 more seconds. I should have gotten some Jeopardy music to play. Okay, whenever you're ready, start putting up on your fingers so I can see. Okay. Let me see. I see someone in Concord say 2. I see in El Paso they say 1. I see in Galleria is 2. 2. Okay. What about Oakbrook? Let me see. Why are you covering? Okay. Are you ready for the answer? Well, let's go from here. A has 15K towards GX. So A has GX1. Okay? Why does A have 15K? Because they have their personal 10K. Doesn't matter what's come from. It come from A's own point. But to count from the downline, right, from the direct recruit has to only be the joint on share or the personal stuff. So that's why 10 plus 5 equals 15. Okay? But when it comes to B only has 8,000 points towards GX. Why? Because B can only count their own sale plus C's own sale. 5 plus 3. C's sister has nothing to do with B. Do you agree? right? B didn't prospect the sister. B only prospect C. So C's sister only count for C, doesn't count for B. Does that make sense so far? We have to do it that way because if not, let's say I recruit, Gui Huang, and then Gui sells to all his, let's just pretend he has 10 cousin and he sell to all 10 cousin. Just because I'm the upline, I can't say, oh, Gui have 10 cousin, I got 10 sale. No, that's Gui's sale, not my sale. Make sense? So I recruit Gui, I can count Gui's joint on share, but I can't count the sale of his 10 cousin. You follow me? Okay, so that's why B only has 8,000. Okay, so now that you know that explanation, show on your hand for me how many points does C have for GX? How many points does C have for GX? Let me see. What do you say? Some of you are like flashing me. Okay, that must mean you're trying to do more than 10, right? C only has 10 for GX. Remember? D's from the friend. 5K's from the friend is not the joint on share. Kiko's doing face palm. Yeah. So C can only count the joint on share plus his sister. That's his prospect. But D's friend has nothing to do with C. You got it? Okay. So C has 10K towards GX. So now let's try again. How many points does D have? How many points does D have? Are you all scared to answer me now? Okay. I don't see as much flashing, so I think you're all going like this, right? You're starting to get it now? D has 10K. Because you understand now, right? Because it's a joint on share, we will count it. Okay? So D has 10K. How much does E have? Show me on your hand. Ah, we're getting faster answer now. Gui Hong, did you put 10? 5. Okay? Remember, this is a coworker. We cannot count it. We only count his Jonon share. Okay? And it is 5. Correct? Okay, hopefully you'll understand it now. So, in this picture, as it is right now, we only have A qualify as GX. Okay? The recruits is there for everybody else, but unfortunately they don't have enough points based off what I wrote for you on here. Everybody understand? Okay? But now, let's go to over here. Let's pretend everybody has 15,000 minimum. Everybody has 15,000 minimum. So now you tell me how many GX is on this bubble chart. How many people qualify GX on this bubble chart? You put on your hands for me. I'm waiting for you. Twingo, put up on your hand. Let me see. What's your hand? You put 2? 3? Okay. Patrick, you put 2? Gui put 3? Okay, are you ready for the answer? Everybody drum roll for me. Drum roll on your table, on the thighs. Okay, there is GX because A has 15K and 1, 2, 3 recruit. Is that right? Okay. B is also GX because B has 15K and has 1, 2, 3 recruit. Okay. C is also GX because he has 15K and has 1, 2, 3 recruits. But that is all, ladies and gentlemen. So the answer is 3. Okay. Only if F has G, then we have D become GX. Okay? We had a question yesterday that says, because A, what if there was A have recruit all the way a long, long line to Q? Does that make A GX3? No. Okay? Once it counts as a leg, you only count up to maximum 3. It doesn't matter if there's 100 recruits direct. You don't get to double count all the D. You just count one time. Does it make sense? Okay, so that's why in this example, everybody is only up to GX1, but the only one that counts is A, B, and C. Okay, so let's go to next one. In summary, whoever join on share gets 100% credit of the points. It doesn't matter if they're licensed or not licensed. In summary, the direct upline gets to credit 100% of the points from the join on share of their direct recruit. Doesn't matter if they're licensed or not licensed. In summary, the licensed trainer gets to credit whatever will be on the leaders bulletin or on my WFG. Okay, so hopefully this summary helps you understand how to count for your personal GX. And technically, this part didn't change from the original GX, okay? But I think some of you got confused because of the new structure. So you just thinking that, the points can count. But the points actually stays the same. Calendar month stays the same. The only thing that changed is the structure of the 3 recruit. Okay, so just to give a disclaimer, recognition can be based off of credit or submitted points, like weekly GX status in the webinar or in your local office or for the shirt or something like that. Okay, that on your SMD and your office. But contests can be either or. It just really depends per contest. So you have to, every time there's contest, internal contest, base shop contest, office contest, or WSB contest, just make sure that you check because every contest can verify. Okay, so here's an example. I said that, somebody might have been recognized GX10 on the webinar, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they qualify for G experience to go to Napa because they might have submitted enough points to become GX10 as a qualifier, but in terms of what is online, maybe they were short the points because some of the points did not go through yet. Does that make sense? Okay. Or like GX retreat that we have coming up in November. That's based off submitted points. So the minute you do G315, we invite you to come to Gold Street. But maybe if the SMD does internal contests for reimbursement or something like that, they have the right to say, oh, but it has to be online to be fair to them, right? So just always verify so that you can understand which contest is based off submitted and which contest is based off of online. Okay, so now we're gonna get to some pop quiz. Okay, now hopefully I went through so many examples you really understand now. Please study this bubble chart on here. Okay, we have the person in question is KB at the top. Okay, she has 15K in July, and she had 2 recruits in June and these 3 recruits in July. So the first pop quiz is, what current GX level is KB? What is a current GX level of JB? KB, sorry. Put on your hand. Let me see. Let me see on your hands. What do you guys think? What about Jimmy Carter? I don't see any hands up. Oh, okay. I see your answer now. I see Hilton Head. Okay. All right. Are you all ready for the answer? Okay. It is none. Okay. Why? Because even though this is a leg, but it had to be built in the same month. Remember what I said? We're still GX doesn't change, is calendar month. Okay, so Unfortunately, because it was 1 month difference, it has to be calendar month. Okay. Now, if KB wants to complete GX in July, because we still have 2 days left, we have today and tomorrow. Is that correct? Okay. So they just need one more recruit. Either one here under KM, one here under JP, or one direct. Do you all understand that? Right? If they just do one more recruit under any of these ways, then they would become the next GX level or GX1. So is that amazing that before we only have one way, which would be have to get a direct, but now, Sam, we have 3 ways to become GX. Does everybody understand? Okay. Okay, second pop quiz. Okay, look at this bubble chart on here. Abby recruited 3 people in June, direct. And then July, Abby recruited 3 direct, but also Leah recruited 3 direct in July. So the first pop quiz is what GX level, and assuming that everybody has, let's assume Abby has 15K every month, 15,000 every month. Okay. So what current GX level is Abby? How many of you think she is GX2? Raise your hand. Anybody here think she's GX3? Raise your hand. Okay, we have a few people. Let me explain to you. She is GX2. Why? What you do is you look if any legs are built in the same month first. So when we look at the legs, unfortunately, it's not built in the same month, right? So if not, then you count the direct recruits. So here we can count 3 here, 3 here. That's how we become GX2. Okay? So now the second pop quiz is if Abby wants to finish her MD run in July, what are her options? Okay? So with that, I am going to go to my Elmo. Oops, switch camera. Okay, so this is the same bubble chart that I showed to you earlier. It's coming up, right? Oops, sorry. Okay. All right. So this is the same bubble chart, right? So the easiest way, number one, is let's write down the 4 styles, the 4 new styles of GX, right? Style number 1 is 3 direct recruit. Style number 2 is 2 direct, 1 deep. Style number 3 is 1 direct, 2 deep or 2 wide. And style number 4 is 3 deep. Okay? So if we're looking at this, if we're looking at Abby, and if Abby wants to finish her MD run in July, sorry, let me put it like this. Okay, I'm gonna fold it over. So we can go with style number 1, right? Option number 1 is Abby gets 3 more direct recruit. That's style number 1. Right? So that's the first way that Abby can become MD. Okay? Now, let's go through style number 2. This is style number 2. Okay, so style number 2 is, let's say Philip got 1 recruit. How does that work now? Okay, I want to explain to all of you. So obviously we know based off of these 3, right? This is GX1. Is that correct, everyone? Okay. So if Philip does this, let's put it in red. Then let's just say we take 2 legs. So this becomes GX2. Now, the thing is, what I want you all to understand, what did I tell you earlier? Once it becomes a block of GX, you can't count it anymore you have to, yeah, it locks in that structure. So you cannot double count. Okay? So what I mean is you can't put one on that. This is GX3. Style number 2. Okay? So we have this one is already locked in at GX1. If Philip gets 1 recruit and this gets locked in at GX2, so what is the option to finish GX3? Well, we could do 2 more direct, right? Then this could be GX3 as example, or we could do Sharon gets 2 recruit, and that could be another option for GX3. Or let's go purple. Sharon gets 1, 2, and this style becomes GX3. Does that make sense, everybody? So do you see how, man, we just increased only to this one. And now for Abby to run just in this style, she has 1, 2, 3, 4. But we could do it under here. It's also 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think. If you count these 2 ways could be done over here. So there's like over 10 ways for Abby to become GX in this style. Okay? But let's just, for the sake of time, go for this one. So hopefully you're starting to see, right? So remember, this is already locked in. These 3 is locked in at GX1. Okay? So if Philip, let's just say Philip did this and this, then, oops, sorry. Oh, let me repeat that. Philip did, because this is Philip, right? So Philip did like this. Then now it could be, this counts as GX2. We know these 3 count as GX1. Okay? So with Candy and Sharon, what can we do? If Philip did this, then we could do, as long as Candy or Sharon gets 1, then that can count as GX3. We still have this style that if Abby gets a direct, then these 3 can count as GX3, right? And of course, if, you know, Candy got this, or, you know, Sharon got it or whatever, that would be a GX3. So similar concept, right? And I think you're all hopefully getting the gist of how we're going here. I ran out of paper because I kept messing up on all my drawings. But if Philip did 4D or 3D, so he just gets like 2 more, then we just have to use the other legs to do any combination of these, and then Abby would become MD. So I just want to say, do you all see how amazing it is, right? That how do we, with the original bubble chart, right? Let's go back to the slide, right? With the original the original way of becoming MD, with the GX style, Abby would only have 1 way to become MD, which is get 3 more personal recur. But do you see how I just showed you Abby now has over 10 options how to run for MD. And now she could actually go deep and strategize with Philip, with Candy, with Sharon, and say, hey, anybody plan to run? Anybody plan to get one or two recruit? That would actually help them towards their GX, but also help Abby towards her own MD now. And now we're going to see more teamwork. We see more cooperation. That's what you saw in my earlier slides, right? So anyways, I know already is, a little bit over time, but I just want to ask some feedback. Like I know, me and Coach Victor, we've been keeping this a secret for like 2 weeks, plotting into convention. So I know you have a lot of thoughts about this, but maybe some other people in Oakbrook, tell me how excited you are, and anybody else. I maybe only the first 3 office. I want to hear from you. What do you feel now with this new GX? What do you see happening for your base, and what you declared to for the GX retreat coming up?
Hey, Alicia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
It's Mia from Oakbrook. Oakbrook, can you shout out? All right, first of all, not only are we pumped up here in Oakbrook, but we are so confident that we are not only going to be a GX, but we're also fighting and understand that we're going to be Kahuna and Big Kahuna because of this new guideline. So, just like what I shared with my team and with my declaration, for Victor, I was sharing how Alicia, how we've been fighting, every single month, we always post, right, our GX qualifiers in the team. And our goal has always been, to hit 100, okay, in a month, okay? But we've fallen short, sometimes we did like 40 plus, 30, but we've never really crossed that 3-digit, 100 GX, in this entire super team. And I realized that we have focused so much on GX, but we failed to focus on building Kahuna, right? Building leaders who are focused on duplicating themselves, not just to be a GX personal, but to duplicate GX within the base shop. And so, with this new guideline, I think it's so clear that every single one of us, of course, we're still fighting. I'm fighting every single month, to hit GX. But now, not only are we fighting to become GX, but we're also fighting to become Kahuna or Big Kahuna within the base shop. And don't you think, Oakbrook, with this new guidelines, we can finish not just GX, but Kahuna every single month? How long you here can, see yourself like having 5 GX or 10 GX in a month in your base shop?
Yeah.
So that's what I feel, with this new guideline, Alicia. It's so easy, but at the same time, it makes us realize that, there is so much room, there is so much space for improvement for us to do a better job of doing bubble chart. But because if we are focused, on doing, a really focused bubble chart, then we don't miss out. We don't miss out a person who is so close, only 1 recruit away to hitting GX, right? And then we can go out to this person and say, hey, can you fight? We still have 2 days. Can you fight to make sure that you get 1 more recruit or you close 1 more account, right? You are so close to hitting GX, and so that with that, I realized, right, like with this new program, it makes us really focused to make sure that we identify not only the ones, who are so obvious in hitting GX, but those who are fighting, to hit GX themselves. And so I just want to share my declaration. With the GX declaration that we have, I made sure that, I filled out, that form. As soon as we got that form from WSB staff, I made sure it's not empty. You can see I have it. I shared it to my team. I filled it out. My declaration is, of course, I'm going to hit my GX 15 by October. Okay, and at the same time, I'm going to qualify a Big Kahuna. And want to share with you that, as a team, my declaration is to have 50 kahunas, qualified, at, coaches' residence. So it's going to be a 50 strong kahunas, because when I look at 50 kahunas, that's about 300 GX, in a month that we're going to have. And want to share with you, Alicia, that I qualified, based on the new guidelines, I qualified for kahuna. So, for this new guideline.
All right.
Awesome.
Coach Alicia, oh my God, this is totally a game changer. I mean, thank you for always thinking about ways to help us grow and explore our business. And I see a lot of MD promotions now through this GX way, SMDs, cash flows. I mean, I tell you, it's just very exciting. Yesterday I also committed to our coach John Wu that in the next 90 days I declare that I'll be GX 12, and I already wrote down the 10 people that committed to be GX this month of August. So I should be fighting for a big kahuna myself. So next 90 days, we'll really work hard. My bubble chart will not look like a Ferris wheel anymore. It could look like a big octopus. Thank you, coach.
All right. We I think it's head coach's way to force us to do bubble charts. I think you'd be crazy if you didn't have a bubble chart now. There's no way you can track your GX unless you have no base shop at all, no recruiting at all. There's no way you can track who's close, who's gonna hit it, or who you're focusing on. So I think, and also, like I was telling our team, retroactively, if you go back to January, you might find quite a few, just like me. I found a couple that hit GX just retroactively from January. So it's a game changer because of that bubble chart. Forces us to have the bubble chart mentality. But the other thing, Coach Alicia, I saw, for the last 3 or 4 discussions we've had, is there's still confusion, right? It's still, it's even myself, even yourself. Sometimes, you look at it. But guess what? My message to the field, my message to everyone in WSB, okay, is please confuse us. Okay, please confuse us, right? We have so many recruits that we have to really count carefully so that we don't, because some of you, I see you like, oh, but what if this, and you have like 2.5 recruits. There's no reason for you to ask these questions, right? But you're going to recruit 30 in your base, 40 in your base. Yes, yeah, we will have a lot of scenarios. So just like everything in our business, right? It's all about doing it first, and then see from there, we'll figure it out, right? Flow with it, right? So just confuse the heck out of us, recruit the planet, recruit the universe, recruit everyone, and then we will count GXs, okay? So, but I will commit, right? Coach Alicia, 100 kahunas by October. We will walk into November and fill up your dad's house with the kahunas. So, thank you.
My God. Oh shoot, Victor just had to up my own declaration then because I didn't think about 100 kahuna. Now I have to declare the same, right? Man, what a goal. That's so awesome. Okay, Aurora, Burlington, Galleria, and Perlin. That's it, because I know I'm already over time. Just 1 minute each, okay? Aurora, go ahead. We don't hear you yet.
Okay, now
Yes.
much better. Good evening, everyone, from Aurora, Colorado Financial Education Center. Yay! So I just got my GX5 because of that new method. Honestly, I think I need just one more recruit, and I am gonna be GX6 tomorrow because I have already the points with the new method. So thank you so much. It's crazy. There is no excuses to not become an MD. Thank you so much.
That's right. Oh my gosh, congratulations. And I love that. That's so awesome to see Colorado growing like that. Great job. Let's go to Burlington.
Hi, Coach Alicia. It's Isaac here at Burlington Community Financial Center. First of all, do you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. I'm so excited because with this new method of getting your GX, it also gets us back to the building block, because before you were running and trying to get yourself your GX and then trying to see the rest of it. Now you have to taproot, like basically you have to get everyone on the team to push to get the GX. And so it is getting easier, but also it is getting easier to build the team with everyone on board. I declared GX9, and tonight I'm recruiting 2 people after this because they're already in pipeline in Canada. Thank you so much.
Awesome. I love to hear you already have recruits lined up. Okay, let's go to Galleria.
Yeah, Alicia, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
All right, girl, this is a game changer, I'm telling you, okay? Last month, for the first time in a long time, I had one person qualify GXMD in 1 month. He had to do 10 Y. Okay? Yes, in 30 days. And coming into the convention, we recognize him, and all the people, we brought 6 people for him. All of them declared to duplicate what he did. But we now, this game changer, we don't have to do it that way. Okay? I look at my bishop this in August, Alicia. We're gonna have 60 new campaigners in August. I see that happening for sure. We're going to be absolutely, and we're going to be coming to your dad's house. I'm looking at 20 kahunas between now and then. Okay, we are ready to explode. This is really truly a G explosion moment. That's where we are, and we're so excited about it. Thank you so much.
That's right. My dad makes some great spam and eggs, everybody. So you should fight to eat that. Okay.
Yes.
Perlin, I'll have you come last, but Atlanta Financial Center has a quick question. So I'd rather end on a declaration. So we'll do the question first. Atlanta Financial Center, Cynthia. We don't hear you or see you.
Oh. All right. Can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you now.
Yes. Okay. So my question is, are we going to the counter so that we can calculate from there? Because that's how I monitor my GX by using
the calculator.
The GX calculator, yes.
Okay, I will. I just finished a 15,000 convention. You don't even give me 48 hours yet to work, huh?
It's just a question, or I'm bringing it to your attention.
Yes, we are working on it. Okay, but I think you should go back to what Coach Victor said. It's really about your bubble chart, because the calculator may work, but I don't know if we'll be able to capture structure. It's just numbers. So points wise, you can still use a calculator if that's what you need help with. Recruiting wise, it's yes, we are working. I can give you an answer that yes, we're working on it. I don't know how long it's going to take my staff to do. They told me today that they're going to start it today. So I don't know if it's going to take them a week or so. But from now until then, just do your bubble chart. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Perlin, you're last but not least. Go ahead, Perlin. You're wrap it up.
Good morning, WSP from Fairland Financial Education Center. We are so excited about these 4 ways to qualify as GX. I'm 1 recruit away to be GX this month. So, and everybody here is so excited, right, guys? Yeah. Okay. Fairland Financial Education Center will be producing a lot of GXers, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, but I have questions, Alicia. Let's say I have 3 recruits this month, for example. I have 3 recruits this month. If one of them have recruit next month, can I still count it? No. Or does it need to be always fresh recruit, and then they have a recruit in the same month? Yes.
Oh, I think your office already know the answer. They answered. Right? What did you see in the examples I kept showing? It had to be in the same calendar month, right? For you to count as a leg. Okay? So, but once it counts as a leg, then you don't count it as direct anymore. But let's say you never finish the structure as a leg, then you can count it as a direct recruit. So it just has to count one time. It either counts as a leg or as a direct, but not both at the same month. Okay?
Okay.
All right, everybody. Well, I already took up, all of your webinar. I just wanted to come on here and help explain to all of you. But you know what? I'm very confident all the SMD and all the Titanex understand, the new structure. So, I always remember the quote, stumble forward, stay confused. So even if you don't understand 100%, just run for it. And then you talk to your SMD, you talk to your trainer, they can guide you. And the main thing is that When you do it every day, you know exactly how to run and how to win with it. But if you wait till the end of the month and you say, okay, now this is all my recruits, this is all my points, let's figure it out. That's when you're not owning your business. You're not doing it properly as a business owner, because you should know where you're at on a daily basis, not just on a promotion side by the end of the month, right? But like I said, once we all understand this right now, man, I see that, like, look at when I give you the example of Abby, is over 10 different ways to become MD right now. That is the power. That is the focus we should all have right now. So start running, everybody. And I want to see you in Gold Street in November here for the GX retreat. All right. Thank you so much. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
This ain't nothing but a summer jam. Bronze skin and cinnamon tans. Whoa. This ain't nothing but a summer jam. We're gonna party as much as we can. This ain't nothing but a summer jam.
Recording.